I gotta sip this caffeinated hot chocolate with the polar bear mug. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Art News with Sofa. Let's let's see what we got. More social media art news. I've got my polar bear mug with my caffeinated hot chocolate in here. Hey, look, I need a little something. It is what it is. Why is Bath and Body Works sending me notifications saying welcome to spring? Bruh, it's about to snow. Like hard. All right, guys. So yeah, we're back with some more social media art news. We are still doing this. I don't know. A lot of people are posting stuff. I figured, I'd get this information out. Why not? Since we've waltzed back into this in the beginning of the year, we still have a lot of artists to cover to catch up from like early January. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to try and get closer to more of the new stuff as we go on, but there's plenty amongst the art channels to get to. As I said before, we're not talking about the project I'm working on. This isn't about me in these videos. You'll see a little something, but hey, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and open this up by talking about Jazza. So Jazza opened up this year with some beautiful art, but before we talk about that, we have to recap his earlier referenced videos. So to recap this just a bit, in November 2024, Jazza dropped a video talking about the positives and negatives of AI art, while also revealing with full transparency that his team has used generative AI in proof of concepts before finalizing the artwork with real human art. His ultimate message back then was that AI was a tool with who it was used by and how it was used, determining the damage it caused. A specifically gray stance, if you ask me. Fast forwarding to about the end of 2025, and Jazza has completed a full 180 to not only clarifying his stance on believing that there is no place for AI in art, but also fully committing to his team and himself producing real art. This was showcased in Jazza's first video of the year. He started with expressing how he feels like he hasn't been able to really get into oil painting the way that he's wanted. So he decided to take some extra time and even be a bit late in uploading in order to really explore it at the rate he wants. I love this. He put so much care and effort into it, especially with the meaning of the piece. A big message from Jazza was that it's becoming harder to authentically make art through these online platforms without the thought of monetization worming its way in. This was his way to start off the year on a real creative note. Next, we're moving on to Marc Brunier. So Marc started off this year with a nice crash course into anatomy, basically giving his very comprehensive way of breaking down the body into different sample shapes he uses. This actually helps recognize all of the joints and bends for adding the depth of the anatomy later. Something interesting that Marc points out is that he believes that most anatomy mistakes aren't actually anatomy mistakes, they're proportion ones. Based on my personal experience, I'm inclined to believe that. Marc used to work at Blizzard as a senior artist and was there for a total of 8 years before leaving and fully operating his digital art school, for which he seems to have been doing for about 10 years now. It's safe to say he knows what he's talking about. That's not the only video that he's put out this year, as Marc's most recent video is about how to find your art style. He breaks into this with some hard truths about what it means to have found your art style and what it means to actually actively search for it. It's not mean, but it's direct and honest. One of the biggest things I took away from this video is to finish your artwork. I'm a problem solver at heart. Puzzle solving is a huge point of creating, in my opinion, and Marc clearly shares this sentiment. If you're interested in either of these videos, make sure you check out Marc's channel and, see what you can learn from him. I'm sure it'll be a lot. By the way, I didn't say it for Jazza's video, but please, everyone, go check out everyone's channels after I finish kind of talking about their stories, I link them above, so you'll see that you'll see the notification come down at the corner of the screen. Anyway, we'll move on to PCAT. So PCAT has a members only video for her first video of the year that is all about dynamic posing. She does a full time lapse showing her study process. Her following video was a breakdown in how she draws manga-like illustrations. It's essentially a step-by-step on accomplishing her style. She does this with Pokemon ZA characters being her inspiration. She did great with these and dropped some key pointers about line art and color differentiation to celebrate or separate the Pokemon and the characters when things are in black and white. PCAT isn't afraid to point out her mistakes, which is always good when you're watching someone create something. She finalizes 6 different art pieces in this, plenty of work for us to learn from. The most recent post is another members only video, which is a bit more on the manga interpretation of these Pokemon characters. If you haven't gotten your fill after watching her regular manga illustration videos, become one of her channel members and check out those other members only videos we mentioned earlier. Next, we are talking about ArtWad. Antonio has posted plenty of videos in January alone. As of recording, I think he's got like 6 videos discussing all types of art tips and tutorials to increase your knowledge. The first of the year is focused on 3 techniques that are meant to make you overpowered as an artist. I will say that these are various ways to simplify your observation of complicated objects, and he's not wrong. Observation is key when it comes to art. Then Antonio posted a video specifically discussing 9 tips that cater to people who want to start drawing this year. To be honest, these tips could apply to people at all levels, in my opinion. Whether you have experience drawing or not, there is something to take away from these videos. His first tip is to experiment more and faster. I love this tip. It's the essence of creativity and a part of a huge turning point I had in my personal art journey. Antonio then posted another video focused on how to draw from imagination. Decoding this process could be super helpful in capturing iconic characters. The follow-up to this video was one of my favorite things to see from everyone. Antonio reviewed some of his old art. Not only did he review his old art though, in the video he decided to point out advice that he would give himself now as if he were one of his students. With all the different principles he has and other artists have talked about, it's great to see him apply them here. Makes me want to do a video like this myself, honestly. He makes a statement in this video that things he discusses are not art secrets. I disagree wholeheartedly with that. They are art secrets and I will steal all of them. Seriously though, his point about how some people jump from one point to the next without covering some of the connected points in between is important for growth as an artist. In the next video on the ArtWad channel, Antonio reviews art from their Monkey Workout Challenge posted in their community and on Reddit. His explanation of how interpretation as well as review of the artist's work is just as informative as his other videos. It's a beefy video. It's the longest of what's been posted this year so far from his channel. I'd honestly do a bit of a draw along with this if you didn't initially get the chance to work through it yourself. It's pretty informative as a class and, could definitely help round out some more of that drawing from imagination that he talks about. Then, just as I finished typing about the second video, Antonio posted his 6th video of the year, a video about 5 comic books he personally chooses to steal art secrets and inspiration from. They are all beautiful, and I highly recommend checking these out if you get a chance. All right, guys, that is it for this video. There are tons of artists that have put out some more videos on their channel, and we're going to continue to cover them. I'm already working into the next few right now, so we're gonna dive into those pretty soon, and I'll come back to you guys with another video about art news. If you guys are following along or you're checking out these guys, please make sure you do me a favor and comment down here if there are other things you want to see. Again, we're catching up for January, so when it comes down to this, we're not going to fit everybody into this episode, but we're trying to cover our ground here. If you yourself have a channel and you would like to be mentioned on mine, you want me to point people to your video, reach out to me. I will. It's no big deal. I'm having fun sharing information through the art community. Quick reminder, guys, I put out a poll on all of social media, pretty much on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, basically asking which one of these art pieces I have is the best. I'm trying to kind of figure out a direction to go in for certain things. I want to see if some of the art that I've put out is at the level that I think it is. I think some of these are better than others, but with the way people have been voting, I'm starting to realize a little bit differently what people prefer. And I kind of like that. I like to see that. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop any type of artwork that I'm doing. It just helps me figure out what people like more, what people find interesting. So if you guys have any opinion on any of the art pieces that I have in that lineup, there are 6 of them, please find one of those posts. There's definitely some here on YouTube. There's some on Instagram. And there's some stuff on TikTok as well. Go vote wherever you can, go comment wherever you can, and tell me what you think. With that being said, I will see you soon.